Doctor, how do we ensure that the physical growth aspect, right, which is all of this, that they're building well, how do we ensure that that is happening through the summers? Because for me, that's growth, right? Because the child has played enough, has had fun enough during summers.
Correct. So, as we discussed earlier, there needs to be enough physical activity through the day in whatever form, be it day-to-day activities, be it some exercise, be it dancing. So, one is that child has to be active through the day.
Yeah.
The second thing is the child has to receive a balanced nutrition. The third thing is, if the doctor has recommended, the child must get his vitamin mineral supplements.
Right.
Fourth thing is the child should sleep well.
Right.
He has to have his correct 10 hours of sleep in a day. There needs to be a clear-cut schedule, because everything can go haywire. He's going to stay awake till 1 o'clock, plays video games, and then he's going to get up at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And the message has to be very gentle but very clear and firm, that even though the school is shut, there is a time for everything in life. So if you can set a good schedule by which there is time for everything, he may have his breakfast in the morning, he can play a little bit, do a little bit of studies, have his me time, have his friend time, have his exercise time, and have his bedtime also clearly regulated. So if they can ensure that his physical activity is adequate, her nutrition is good, that she is psychologically in a good map of mind, and that she sleeps her hours of sleep well.
Right.
That should ensure that her growth will be
So what I
adequate.
understand is right sleep, make sure that you have a schedule, right nutrition, right nurturing, and enough play, right? So that's like our 4 building blocks of a strong immunity and the right growth. So how do you ensure that while they're eating, there is balanced nutrition, but those growth spurts are being supplemented by the right food?
Okay, so when you talk about growth, Mansi, it can be vertical growth or horizontal growth.
Yeah,
So-
most important. That's true.
Yeah. So while we are all keen about vertical growth, if you're going to stuff them, if the child is hungry all the time,
Yeah.
and if you're going to provide him with fast foods, when your focus is on growth, I think you need to be careful about how you feed that hunger.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I tell all my mothers that you stuff your refrigerator with lot of fruits and nuts. If he opens a dabba, he gets either a chikki or a khakra.
Correct.
So, the kind of food, the moment there is packaged food in the house, he is going to eat that. So, what is out of sight is out of mind.
Right.
So, the trick is, when you sit on the table, there are fruits lying in front of the table. Also, it's very important for us to set a good example as a parent. If I'm going to eat a burger and tell my child to eat an apple, he's not going to do that. If you are eating a fruit, if you eat a fruit 10 times, she will eat it 1 time.
Yeah. And how do you still ensure that the growth is not interrupted? Of course, we're not saying junk food at all.
Our preaching will be thrown out of the window.
Yeah.
There is no way we can preach this young generation. Also remember that in case there are 1 or 2 foods that a child distinctly dislikes, please don't insist that he must eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't need a food, you need some foods from that group. So suppose he doesn't like a banana, it's pointless being obsessed with him eating a banana.
True.
But try and ensure that he eats some other fruit which he likes. And many times my mothers ask me which fruit is important.
Yeah.
So the trick is, you go to the fresh fruit market and see which is the most widely available and cheapest fruit. And why is that? Because that is the fruit in season. It doesn't come out of cold storage. So if I just bought a kilo of lovely looking apples, and when I cut them, they were all spoiled from the inside. So just now is the time to eat mangoes.
Yeah.
So you need to choose a fruit that is in season.
Right.
You need to set a good example. Also, we as parents need to present the food in a nice manner. One more thing, Mansi. What do you tell your child? If you finish your meal, I will give you cake or I will give you ice cream.
Yeah.
So what does the child think? That food is the boring part,
Yeah.
and the ice cream or the dessert is a reward.
Correct.
So he starts attaching more importance to the ice cream and the dessert. So by and large, every food should come on the plate as a matter of fact.
I want to touch upon immunity, right? Because that seems to be, that seems to be something that everybody is really, really concerned, especially in the summers. Like you said, that kids get diarrhea, they get vomiting, they feel dehydrated. So anything on immunity and how weak immunity can really slow down the growth of the child? Can we talk about how we can, as parents, build the immunity of the child?
Okay, now, so Mansi, yeah, I'm sure you have parents with older children, younger children, and some even expectant moms who will be part of this group.
Right.
So now let me start off with pregnancy.
Right.
The trick is, when you're with a baby in your womb, there have been experiments that have shown that depending on how varied your diet is during pregnancy and how many tastes, textures, flavors you eat during pregnancy, the child is less finicky when he comes out in terms of his willingness to experiment. So the first thing I'll tell you is, when you are pregnant with a baby, eat a varied variety of foods. Next, it comes to when you start weaning from breast milk and you start giving semi-solids to the baby. Once again, when at 6 months you start feeding the baby, the critical period is from 6 months to 12 months and 1.5 years. Once again, when you're weaning the baby, give him a large number of flavors, textures, foods, because whatever he has tasted in the second 6 months of life, he will take far more easily as an adult. So you become less finicky. There are children who don't eat vegetables, don't eat fruits, and it's possible the genesis is right in pregnancy and in the second 6 months of life. So expose your children to a variety of flavors, textures, foods. And now coming to the older child, you have to go back and think what your mother and grandmother did. They went out and they bought things that were available, and they kept varying. For example, when it comes to a cereal,
Right.
you use rice sometimes, use wheat sometimes, use jawar sometimes, use bajra sometimes, use ragi sometimes. So try and change the cereal that you're using. Try and change the pulse that you're using. Sometimes one dal, sometimes the other dal. Change the nuts that you're using. You might bring apricots one day, you might bring cashews one day, you might bring almonds one day.
Sure.
Same way, change your fruits, change your vegetables, and don't rack your brains too much about the technicalities.
Right. I would just like to conclude by saying that, guys, summer vacations are a great time to grow, to have fun, to have wholesome meals, to have family meals together, and also ensure that the 4 pillars which doctor mentioned, which is right growth, right sleep, right play, right nurturing, and right nutrition, is all met. So let's all of us ensure that we are giving our kids all of that in the summer. We're keeping their immunity strong. And I really want to thank Dr. Sankleta for taking our time and being with us today. And thank you to Pediasure Abbott for supporting us on this initiative of building our child's immunity, which is a topmost concern for every single parent at this point in time.